Hello and good morning. Video 945. I'm trying not to get out of the mood that I was in real quick. I don't have much time to do this, but you know, there is a difference between there's a difference between men and women. There's a difference between masculine and feminine. I know that's probably it's not non-binary. Perhaps uh, all things are possible, and the way that I was conditioned, the way that I was raised, um, the rules that made me who I am, the social norms. But I just reality, reality, and things that I felt before that. Grow up and be a man. Da 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 da. To have access to those crayons that are legitimate. Um, in the last 40 24 hours. I had somebody hurt my feelings. Then I tried to make up with them, and they hurt my feelings again. And, you know, they're not an asshole, but they're a man. I mean, it's the, it's the only, it's the only thing that's out there. Excuse me. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. I mean, they're being a man, and I'm not a man. I'm a woman. You know what I mean? I may not sound like a woman. I know that's a bloated statement. Let's see, you're going, oh, some nasty things to. Okay. Although that's legitimate too. But, you know, feelings that I had, maybe you had growing up, that because you're transgender, you know, things locked up. And I feel that way now somewhat. Like I said, as time goes on and I'm dealing with my feelings and I'm recognizing them as being authentic, it helps me to deal with them, as an adult. And again, I realize, in binary, you're probably sitting there going, oh, well, both, you don't have to be a man or a woman to feel those things. True. But here is now male. What got me through my life is beginning to take over and is telling the little girl inside me, it's okay, baby, I got this. It's time to be an adult. You go sit. Go sit and play. Uh, but you know, the truth of the matter is that our feelings are legitimate and our feelings are authentic. You know, and no, you don't have to be a woman or a man to feel a certain way. And I realize I'm pigeonholing things, but that was the way my brain. That was the I won't even say the behavior that was modeled, because I wasn't around my mom much. I wasn't around my dad much either, for that. I developed on my own, which, maybe that's my innate gender. I don't know. And again, I hate to try and say that something is woman, something is man, but uh, that's the only logical, rational, psychological thing that I can come up with is, and it plays into so many stereotypes about men versus women, you know. Um, my feelings are being, you know, oh, you're behaving irrational. You're being emotional, you know. And it's like, yes, I am. And I'm authentic, you know. Mm. So, what's the takeaway? Just maybe just be aware that our feelings are authentic. The silver lining may be that it is, for me, authentication. I made the right decision in transitioning, and the more and more that, and I golly, I've been doing this since 2015, 16, 17, somewhere around there, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 6 years into my womanhood here, 6 or 7, depending on how you look at it. I'm still figuring stuff out. I'm still feeling my way through, and so, um, you know, if you get to your transition and you're like, oh, I'm done, everything's wonderful, God love you. I'm not done yet. I may never be done, but um, I'm looking back on where I'm at now, and I'm like, I feel like the little kid who, um, you know, um, a kid on the playground doesn't play nice. So I'm like, well, okay, shoot, I'll just get my toys and go play somewhere else. Waddle, 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 waddle away. Little girl with her little bucket. I'll take my toys somewhere else. And that may very well be the way out of this. I don't know. I got to think this through. I've never, you know, a trans man friend of mine once told me. I don't remember what his name was. I'm sorry. His brain doesn't quite function. It wasn't Daniel. But he said to me, one thing you will notice in your transition, he said, is that men, uh, they have an argument, they have a fight, butt heads, and then they're the best of friends. He said, but a woman remembers, and a woman doesn't forgive right away, and a woman holds on to a grudge. And so now, like I said, with my friend and kind of our little headbutting here for the last 24 hours off and on, for him, yeah, I'm cool to be friends again. Where for me, I'm like, I don't know if I want to be friends with this person anymore. And this is somebody I play D&D with. This is somebody that I was looking at volunteering the service organization they're a part of. I was thinking about joining it just because it sounded like a good way of volunteering and helping out people in Louisville, the community here. Not the community as in the gay community, but the poor community, people that need help. And my inclination, the way that, again, my brain is structured is to crumple it up and walk away and say, geez, I can't be friends with someone who's abusive. I can't be friends with someone who is going to be totally inconsiderate of my feelings. I can't. Ooh, here comes another wave. Ooh, emotions. You know what I mean? Like, this would be something that I would have already broken this off and said, well, okay, God's telling me something, do something else with your free time. You know, maybe it's time to move on. I don't know. But, before I would have said, oh, geez, maybe I'm wrong, da da da. Now I'm like, no, listen to your emotions, your women's intuition. But anyway, can't talk too long. I've already kind of overstayed my welcome, but I knew that I needed to share with it, and I felt like, hey, this is my womanhood, my little girlhood in action. Like I said, I'm a little girl. She's pouting. Take her toys and go play somewhere else. Walk away. Walk 10 feet, sit down, and play with the sand with her toys. Oh my gosh. I'm going to grab my G.I. Joes. Miss Dawn showed me some cool G.I. Joes. Oh, I loved G.I. Joes when I was younger. The Killer Whale was my favorite, but it was pretty big. My real favorite was a Jeep. It was early 80s. It was a Jeep. It was a two-person seater, and on the back it had this little laser cannon on it. And man, I would take that to the beach as a 17-year-old person. We would go to the beach. I've known a friend of mine who was into G.I. Joe, and man, I would make sand castles and trails, and I loved that Jeep. If I could find it, I probably should look for that Jeep, because that is something that I loved in my childhood, and whatnot. I seem to be doing that now as parts of my childhood that I liked, pulling that and trying to, things that remind you of some of the good things. All right, my friends, I do need to go. And so our feelings are authentic, legitimate, and go with it. Till next time. Bye bye. And remember to hit the right button.